What's up? Welcome into another edition of the Daily Buckeye Blitz. I am your host, Joe from the Buckeye Cast. You might know me as Joe Warwick out on the streets. Anyways, for Sunday, August 14th, 2022, bringing it to you, we're going to talk fall camp notes, some practice notes, what we're hearing and reading and seeing and touching and feeling. No, not all that, but anyway, that's going to be our main topic for today's 5-minute podcast. I want to talk about what is happening as far as depth, especially in some of our key concerning positions, like O-line, corner, things like that, linebacker, who's where. First off, though, quick recruiting note. 4-star safety Jaden Bonsu from New Jersey is set to announce his commitment today at 4 p.m. That'll be on the 24/7 Sports YouTube channel. So you might want to YouTube that, check it out, Google it, whatever. Looks like all 7 crystal balls right now have them going to the Buckeyes. So it should be a good day for us and finally get some much needed kind of turning of the tide on the defensive recruiting, right? I know we got Arbel Reese last week, but let's keep the momentum going. And we need safeties anyways after losing out on a few guys. So look out for that today at 4 p.m. Look for the boom. And let's get into our practice notes. So starting off at receiver, I know this is not an area of huge concern, at least not for me anyways. I mean, shouldn't be. I'm just concerned. I'm actually interested in what the depth is and what kind of order we're looking at. So last week, Julian Fleming running with the ones at the Z, Marvin Harrison, obviously, at the X, and JSN, of course, at the slot. Now, behind Julian at the Z, you got Emeka Egbuka and then Jaden Ballard. Okay, so interesting that Egbuka is running with the twos. We'll see how much run he gets, and if he can crack into that starting lineup, maybe split some time or something like that. That'd be interesting. He does need to get on the field, in my opinion. I was thinking he might be backing up JSN at the slot, but we'll get there. And backing up Marvin Harrison is Cam Babb. Kind of a surprise. Must be showing out in practice. I mean, he's dealt with lingering issues from all the injuries, the ACLs and everything, but he's running with the twos at the X, so we'll take it. But what I wanted to mention was former walk-on Xavier Johnson backing up JSN. He's running with the twos. That's a big deal, man. Ryan Day had a bunch of glowing comments about him the other day in the, I think it was a Thursday press conference. So that's a big deal. And then you got the freshmen mixing in, like you got Kojo Antwi at the X, kind of running third. And then deep on the Z depth chart behind Jaden Ballard, you got Keon Grays and Caleb Burton. And I'm sure Caleb Brown will mix in there somewhere. So that's what we've got on receiver. Now, O-line, this is really interesting to me. You got obviously the starters from left to right, Paris, Donovan, Luke, Matt Jones, and then Dewan. Okay, now behind them is where I'm interested, these tackles especially. So backing up Paris Johnson at left tackle is Zen Mahalski. Yeah, this second-year guy, redshirt freshman, is showing up. I love it. And as we predicted, if you go back to the offensive line discussion a few episodes ago, we got Enoch behind Donovan Jackson, Jacob James backing up at center. But at right guard, we've got a slew of guys, Ben Chrisman, the freshman, and then Trey LaRue and Grant Toutant, guys that had been around a while. And then at right tackle, you got Josh Fryer. And again, like I mentioned in that episode about the O-line, Josh Fryer is kind of your swing man, your sixth man. He can kind of plug in anywhere, but right now they got him running at the right tackle behind Dewan. And then the true freshmen, those guys are just tackles. They're just filling in at both tackle spots, deep in the reps, depths and reps. So interesting info there. Linebacker, some of the depth here caught me off guard. Obviously, we know Steele and Tommy are your Will and Mike. And then Taraja's practicing at the Sam. when we need one. Behind Steele, though, at the wheel is Chip Trainum. Kind of mind-blowing. And CJ Hicks got his black stripe taken off yesterday, so that's cool. And EA is kind of floating between Will and Sam, so they got him penciled in both, a little deeper at the Will, but he's running with the twos at the Sam. And again, I don't understand why Reed Carrico, people were penciling him in as a starter at Sam over the summer and last spring, and I didn't understand why. He hasn't even hardly played, especially at linebacker. He's played special teams, but anyway, I got him at Sam, but third string, at the Mike, you got Tommy, like I mentioned. Behind him, you also got Taraja there, and then Cody Simon and Gabe Powers. So curious to see how Cody Simon shakes out if he's 100% from the injury, the shoulder. I think he had a torn labrum. So, yeah, so that's the linebacker room as of right now. Things can obviously change with injury and everything. Corner, we talked about the depth issues when Jordan Hancock was hobbled last week with the right leg injury, but sounds like he's back. And this order hasn't changed much. You got Denzel and Cam starting behind them. You got, of course, Jordan Hancock, J.K. Johnson, and then running with the threes, you got Cam and Jair Brown. So Jair is obviously a true freshman. Cam is cross training between the slot safety and outside corner. So interesting stuff there too. Just wanted to give you guys those updates. I'll keep these coming as camp moves on as we have more information. So keep it locked in here as always. Monday, we have interviews with players and coaches. Monday is Coach Day, his press conference, and then after that is Coach Wilson and the tight ends. That's another area that we'd like to get some clarification on the depth at tight end. And then Tuesday, Coach Johnson, Coach Jay, and the D-line. That could be pretty entertaining with Jack. Jack likes to throw out some cuss words here and there, like shit, piss, fuck. So what else? Thursday, you got Coach Dennis and the QBs. They're actually going to let Urban's son-in-law talk to the media for once. That's a change of pace. So keep that locked in on the podcast feed. You'll be able to find all the audio there. And of course, I think we'll be doing a full episode of the podcast Monday night. That'll come out Tuesday with me and Jeff and Sean. So keep it locked in. Check the YouTube channel as always, and the podcast, and of course social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all that happy shit. Hit the bell, hit the subscribe, all that stuff. Same routine. Pass it along. Anyways, we appreciate you, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Go Bucks.